Hi Libra, I hope that you're all doing well. We are here with your reading, what you need to know for February. The first card that we have out is Four of Wands. Okay. When Four of Wands came out, I was seeing Five of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So what this can mean is that somewhere where there's meant to be like teamwork and stability, there can be some issues there. There can be some like not getting along or not cooperating. And it can be just like problems, it can be conflict, it can be stuff that you feel like is unresolved. And then we have the Four of Cups next to that, and it feels kind of like Four of Cups is actually feeling kind of like disappointment to me. So with Four of Wands, this is something that we look at and say, like, this is supposed to feel like a foundation within my life where it allows me to feel stable, and it is a support system for me so I can function in like all other areas of my life. However, if that is not how things are going there, and this is like can be in the most basic ways with the Four of Wands, these are the most like basic structures within your life. It can be like a home setting, for example, it can be a relationship, it can be a work situation, whatever it is, it's supposed to be generally harmonious, it's supposed to be supportive, it's not supposed to be like, it's supposed to be settled more than anything. Having Four of Cups next to it can feel like that's actually not how things are going. So this can be like, this relationship is feeling really draining right now, or this home situation is really difficult for me right now. And it can be something that instead of supporting you, it's actually taking energy away from you. And it can be something that you feel like you're struggling with. Or it can just be really exhausting you. That can also be the thing too. And it can be making it hard for you to be creative. It can be making it hard for you to be connected with your visionary energy. It can be kind of like taking that right now. I feel like holding it hostage. I'm seeing somebody coming in your direction. I'm seeing you looking at this and seeing if there's anything that you can do with it. You can also be at a point too where your focus is on building right now and building passionately. I'm really getting this sense of feeling for your energy of being in a space where you want to be like uncompromising with the things that you want, not in a way where it's inflexible, but more so in a way where it's like you're really determined to do what you're setting out to do, and like you want like a good quality, the stuff that you're working for, you want it to build the things that you want it to build, you know, like not scared to put some effort in. So I'm seeing you be in that type of position. We have the Knight of Pentacles, so this is about like the steps that you're taking to build and putting your focus and attention onto that. But it can feel difficult to do that when you're also dealing with something else. Like you can feel right now like there's an offset or like an off balance where something is supposed to feel more harmonious right now. You can feel like it's off kilter, and that can be depleting your energy, and it can be making it more difficult for you to focus on and accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. At the same time, I feel like this can give you maybe something to throw your energy into. There's a new chapter. I'm seeing Ace of Cups, I'm seeing High Priestess, and I'm seeing the Fool. This can be like a very new emotional venture that you're going on. This can be a new chapter where you're getting more in touch with yourself. Ace of Cups and the High Priestess. A new chapter that's being explored. Because it's the Ace of Cups, this is going to come from a place of connection. So that means that you can be starting a new chapter with another person, or you can be starting a new chapter. When we have Ace of Cups, it's going to be a chapter that feelings are involved in, like your senses are involved in it. So it will be connected with like your perception and an experience that you're having. But having Ace of Cups and having the High Priestess, this can be, I'm starting this chapter, and I feel like this is like relative to the beginning of February is when this sort of starts, and it can be based off of events that are going on as well that inspire this to be happening, to transpire. When we have Ace of Cups and we have the High Priestess, this can be taking a really serious approach to your life, the way that it feels, your connection with yourself. There can be something going on where you're like, I'm starting this new chapter and I'm going to get more in touch with my intuition, or I'm going to connect more with my psychic abilities, or I'm going to connect more with my intuition, or I'm really going to take charge of nurturing myself and showing up for myself and like being the parent that I didn't have. You know, it can be these types of things that you're doing where when we have the High Priestess there, when we have the moon there, it's going to be connected with like what nourishes your soul. And I'm seeing you starting a chapter where that is what you're going to be showing up for. And I feel like you are at the center of this, and this is something that you're going to be exploring. And I feel too like this is something that you're giving to yourself, learning how to do that. With the Queen of Wands, I do feel like you've found yourself in many ways, and this can be time that you're taking to really appreciate that and to feed that part of yourself. That part of you that is connected with your self-esteem, that is connected with your passion and your happiness and the quality of life that you want to be living. So it's like, it's for that part of yourself. Seeing that you have a lot on your mind. I think like all throughout the month of February, it feels like there's a lot of stations that are playing simultaneously that you're tuned into. And it can feel a bit overwhelming. I'm seeing you move forward, but you can be feeling kind of hopeless as well. Not to like be a downer, but to be honest about what I'm seeing here. Because you don't want to get to that point and then be like, well, I didn't see anything about that. You know, like this is helping you to be prepared for that so you can know how best to deal with this. It's not going to be any help if we're not like transparent about what's going on here, even if it can be like not maybe the most pleasant thing to be hearing. So with that Knight of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles is going to be you showing up, you making the moves, you feeling like this is what I'm meant to be doing right now. These are just the appropriate steps for me to be following. It's honest work that I'm doing here. Having that Five of Pentacles, you can be feeling like, I just get in a spot where you may not be feeling the best, and I think that this translates from something going on emotionally, and then it can come into affecting you maybe on a physical level where like maybe you're just not feeling at your best. I feel too like this is a time where you're like, I need to do this for myself, and at the same time it can feel hard to do that. So even though you know that this is good for you and that you are taking the correct steps and measures here, at the same time, there can be this piece of you that feels, maybe you feel lonely doing this. Maybe you feel like there's a lack of support. Maybe you feel like isolated in some way. You can feel too like, what is all of this for? I get questions like this. And with the Magician too, these are the things that you're trying to accomplish as well. These things that you're envisioning, and Five of Pentacles can be like, is this going to happen? Like, am I going to be able to do this? Am I going the right way? Like, am I making the right choices? And it can be hard to see that. I'm not seeing you going the wrong way. It can just be something that you're questioning. Maybe there's also some stuff going on with your responsibilities too. That can be something. Maybe you're feeling like I'm showing up, but I don't feel like I'm in the best place to be doing so. But I also feel at the same time, I'm seeing Knight of Wands be above King of Pentacles. Maybe this is a time where you have to find motivation. I feel like if you have stuff going on an emotional level that's feeling challenging to you, it can bleed into your everyday life of your responsibilities and where you're showing up and can make it more difficult. That's not to say that anything is, that you're going the wrong way or anything like that. I'm not seeing it be like that. I'm seeing it more so be a situation when we're dealing with things on an emotional level that can feel challenging, can feel draining, can feel disruptive, can feel like we don't have everything that we need necessarily, or that there's just like some type of chaos that we're moving through and we're attempting to stabilize again. When we're going through that emotionally on an internal level, when that's what we're feeling on some level, it's going to affect other areas of your life. And so I'm seeing that happening in February. So you can feel uninspired. You can be like, yeah, I have these things that I'm responsible for, these places that I need to show up, or this job that I need to do, but I'm like having a really hard time bringing myself to do it. It's not because you don't care. It's not because you don't want to be doing it. It's just because of things going on emotionally. This is a transient time. You're not going to stay feeling like this for sure. So just recognize that. As difficult as it may be to show up, and you may have to like drag yourself out of bed to do things, you are going to reconnect with your fire. This is you taking care of yourself. And this also is you now putting yourself in a position where come the beginning of February, for those of you that it's not February yet and you're watching this, this is a brand new chapter that you're starting where you are developing emotional harmony. You are developing this feeling within your life where when you tune into how you feel about your life, things are stable, things are peaceful, things feel harmonious, and they feel level, and you feel safe within that, and you feel secure within that. That's what this new chapter is about developing for yourself. And you can say too, that's not how I'm feeling right now, but that's what you are beginning to do. That's what this chapter is about. And there can be this part of you that's, I think, mentally maybe having a difficult time seeing the way. Just because it feels like a lot of stuff is going on. You can be having a lot of different thoughts, a lot of stations playing simultaneously. And so it can be hard to do this, even though I'm seeing you be on track here. You're just going through a difficult time. You're going to make things happen. You'll see. You're making the right choices. But yeah, it can feel hard to support yourself through this. And the part of you that's maybe more bold and more confident can be struggling a bit going through this. But this is going to bring you into a space where you feel like things do stabilize, and that's what all of this is about. I'm seeing 10 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. This is about your pursuit of happiness within your joy. This is about your well-being on all levels. This is about you feeling connected. This is about you feeling in love with your life. This is what you are building towards, and this is why you're making the choices that you're making, and you're very much on track for it. It can feel like a lot of weight that's being put on you. At the same time, you know that this is the way to go. It can take some emotional strength and courage for you to move through this. You can have to be brave with this. You can have to trust yourself with this. Don't back down. You are creating an experience that's going to be a lasting one for you, where all feels right. And right now you can be questioning yourself. You can be questioning maybe your judgment, the way that you're thinking. you are going to see that this creates something that you love within your life. And that's what all of this is for. And so even though there's a part of you that may be like, well, I can't see it, or I'm having a hard time imagining, like, is that really what I'm going to be able to build? I'm seeing that you will very much be doing exactly that. It can just feel difficult to see. And I'd say mid-month can be where you feel like you're struggling the most. It can be where you feel most stressed out. It can just be where things feel the hardest. But overall, you know that this is the right move for you to be making, and that things will only get better. And so don't question yourself. You know when things feel right, you know when things don't feel right. You're making all the calls that you need to be making. This is a really progressive thing that you're doing, even though you can feel uncomfortable. So just know that. Having that 10 of Cups on the bottom of the deck is a really important thing to be seeing, showing that you are on your pursuit of happiness and you are aligned with that. And so keep doing what you're doing and keep trusting yourself. You are building that relationship, you're building that connection with yourself, and you will feel very, very happy with what you're doing. It will all be worth it. Even though you can have a hard time seeing that now, it will all be worth it. And also give yourself time as you move through this. It can be a time where maybe you don't feel as, because of going through stuff that can feel kind of like somewhat draining, it takes a lot of energy. You may feel lower energy. Allow yourself time to rest, soothe emotionally, physically, spiritually. That will help you. You can like maybe feel a little bit blue as well, you know, like when things sort of still and you're left with yourself, it can feel like there's not as much color there. It will pass, just know that. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.